Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 4. There's no defense of this episode at all. I'm not here to try and make it sound like, hey, there was some good parts of this episode that I enjoyed and it worked. This was a dog shit episode. It was terrible. It was terrible for a lot of different reasons. This show continues to spiral out of control. This whole thing was presented to be a story about Obi-Wan and Luke. And of course, we've got the bait and switch because Luke is non-existent. Luke doesn't matter because in Disney Star Wars, Luke Skywalker does not matter. But Leia is the most important thing in the world. Leia's the smartest person in the room. The 10-year-old Leia is smarter than Obi-Wan Kenobi. She's smarter than anyone. She's more relevant. She's more witty. She never makes mistakes, and she has all of the information. This entire thing is about Leia and about showing you that women were in the Empire. Women were relevant. We are here to right the wrongs of George Lucas and the 80s and all of the toxic masculinity, and to show you that men are terrible and every man is stupid and every woman is smarter than every man. That is exactly what's going on here. And to show you the greatness of Reva, the greatest, most bestest ever Reva. And if you criticize Reva, you are a racist. That's directly from Star Wars. They are doing everything they can to protect the garbage known as the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. There is no defense of this. Now, again, if you like it, that's fine. Whatever. I don't, and it's terrible. It's objectively bad. The writing is bad. The pacing is bad. It's boring. Nothing is happening. It's a lot of filler, and it has nothing but identity politics shoved into it, and it is designed to do nothing but make Obi-Wan Kenobi look like a useless man and show you how the women surrounding him are the great and powerful, and they are the most relevant, and they are the ones that are getting him through this tough time in his life. And without all of those amazing women, he would be nothing. And then you have the Reva element where literally Darth Vader has her force choking her, and she outwits Vader and makes Vader forgive her. Vader's not known for forgiveness. And how did she get him to forgive her? She came up with a plan based on knowledge of an escape, apparently. So apparently Reva knew that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Leia were going to escape, even though she didn't know Obi-Wan Kenobi was there. And even though it was all about keeping Kenobi, Kenobi was the focus. He's the focus. He's the most important thing. Well, you had him there, yet you literally had him walking through this base that you apparently can never be compromised, even though it's very easy to compromise it. But you had him walking through there with Leia under his coat, dressed as an Empire person, an Imperial officer, and no one noticed it. This entire series has done so much damage because not only has it done damage to Obi-Wan Kenobi, not only has it shown you that Luke Skywalker means absolutely nothing in the Disney Star Wars world, which of course we already knew that. It's shown you, it's destroyed like this whole moment with Leia when we see her in A New Hope and what she says in the message to Obi-Wan Kenobi, because now you have this massive relationship where apparently that's the only thing that matters to Obi-Wan Kenobi now. He never even talks about Luke. He never even brings Luke up. Luke is nothing anymore. It's all about Leia. You know, he wakes up out of the tank and it's like, Leia, where's Leia? Where's Leia? It's all it is Leia. But also we see this Reva element. But then you have the fact that the Empire. Now, when you watch the original trilogy, you can appreciate the fear that the Empire has and how structured they feel. Obviously, there's the jokes and the memes about the stormtroopers and all of that, but you can still feel the Empire's presence in the original trilogy. Whereas you look at the First Order in the Disney sequel trilogy, and it doesn't have that feel at all. They're not as incompetent as the Empire appears in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, but the point I'm trying to get at is that that's what they've done to the Empire in this. The Empire is stupid, which ultimately means Vader is stupid. They're so incompetent. There's no amount of structure or organization. There's just the dumbest group of people imaginable. The ways that you can infiltrate the Empire is unbelievable. And Vader's just, I don't know what Vader's doing. He's just walking around, and occasionally he'll show up and kill people, even though we have no idea why these are happening. Yet he had no problem sparing Reva because Reva had a one-up on him. Oh no, Lord Vader. No, Lord Vader. She had a plan. She had a plan to put this device on a droid because she knew that apparently Leia would escape. How do you plan for the escape? How did you know that was going to, I mean, maybe I'm missing something. I don't think I am, because we already know that the writer of this show didn't even know anything about Darth Vader or Obi-Wan Kenobi, admittedly so. But there's just no defense of this. You've got women open-handed slapping a stormtrooper in the helmet and knocking him down. Are we kidding? Seriously. I mean, this is what they are doing. They are trying to rewrite everything that happened, push their nonsense, destroy any love or respect you had for the Empire or George Lucas's creation. Luke Skywalker doesn't matter. The interrogation scene was all-time terrible. A horrific, like, we've got things like the Joker and Batman in The Dark Knight, which is one of the greatest scenes ever. Then you look at something like this. It was so cringe. It was so cringe. And, you know, just to give preface, there's nothing against the actress, nothing against Moses Ingram or the young lady playing Leia. Has nothing to do with them in terms of, you know, them as people, human beings, but in terms of their performances and in terms of that scene, none of this works. None of this works. It's so incredibly unbelievable. And the way that they have written Leia to be this know-it-all, this 10-year-old know-it-all, who never makes mistakes, but Obi-Wan just makes all the mistakes in the world. There's this scene where Reva's like using the Force on her and she resists. How? None of this makes sense. And again, the fact that Vader showed sympathy for Reva. What are we doing here? We are rewriting history. That's what we're doing. And they have no respect for the source material. They have no respect for the fan base. They have no respect for George Lucas. And they don't care. And we saw them put the signal boost out there, you know, with before the series even released. You know, they went ahead and put the narrative. They were setting the narrative that, hey, just so you know, I know we've had all of these black characters in Star Wars that all the fans love, but hey, Moses Ingram, you're going to be facing some racist backlash, and we need to make sure we put that out there, and we need to make sure that there are certain sites out there that help signal boost that message. And then suddenly, after a couple of episodes, then we get a couple of messages that are obviously, no one's saying those are good messages. No one's saying that that's okay. But if you don't think that's okay, are you willing to condemn the stuff that people like me get every day? Because it's far worse than that. Far worse than that. And I know women that are on my side of the aisle in terms of the discussion about Star Wars that get 10 times what I get. But let's pretend that that's the worst thing that a Star Wars actor has faced, and let's just go ahead and claim that's the whole fandom, and put out these statements that are basically meant to distract from the fact that this person in this role, first of all, terrible writing, not her fault, but the character is terribly written. The character should never exist, not her fault either. But then once you actually get to the performance, it's really bad. So, of course, they have to do something to deflect that criticism. Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 4 is easily the worst episode so far. And I think it's going to get significantly worse as we continue to go further into this story. I'm watching this because you asked me to, and I love our audience and I respect our audience and I work for you. I'm here for you. If I can deliver the thing you're asking for, I will do my best. And you guys asked, and so I am watching reluctantly. I would not be watching this if you didn't ask me to, but I'm here, and it's bad. It's terrible. It's arguably as bad as The Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker at this point. These are bad. These are bad episodes, and the fourth one was easily the worst up to this point. And based on the spoilers that I've read, if they are believed to be true, this is not the worst of it. But I guess time will tell. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Disney does not like you. Disney does not respect you. They don't respect Star Wars. They don't respect the fans or anything. And when it comes to the lore aspect, me and Ryan Kendall were having this discussion on Tuesday Night's Main Event, and it's like, I mean, I'm not the biggest person when it comes to like lore and all of that, because I understand that there's times when you have to make some type of change to actually tell the story on screen or whatever. And sometimes there's going to be continuity errors, things like that. The Clone Wars has a lot of continuity errors when it comes to tying them into the prequels or even the EU and all of that. I understand all of that. But I like the Clone Wars a lot. I love the Clone Wars because the Clone Wars is made for the right reasons, and it's made by people that actually wanted to keep Star Wars growing and keep the world of George Lucas, expanding. So even if something doesn't go right in line with this or that or the other, as long as it's good and it's made by, for the right reasons, people will overlook that. And the Clone Wars is a great example of that. Not everyone loves the Clone Wars, but I would say the majority of people really like the Clone Wars a lot. And I'm one of those people. So you have this situation with Disney where it's destroying everything, and it's not even for a good reason. It's made by people that don't know the source material, don't care about it, and they're only there to rewrite it to push the Force's female agenda into it. That's what's happening, and it's disgusting, but it is what it is. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.